Hello everyone, I am Idona John Baptist with the Channel 5 News in the headlines. National Security Minister says significant increase in terrorism activities in the Caribbean drives intentions to enact legislation here. A significant financial investment for Pacific Hope as it looks to enhance provision of healthcare to hundreds of Dominicans. And Solid Waste Corporation demands enforcement of anti-litter laws in an effort to stop indiscriminate dumping. The details of the news after this.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today. Welcome back. First up, the authorities fear that the region's borders can be used for terrorist operations given an increase in Caribbean citizens joining the ISIS terrorist group. The word from Honorable Rayburn Blackmore, who's chairman of the CARICOM Council of Ministers for National Security and Law Enforcement. It has been found that the CARICOM member state of Trinidad and Tobago, in particular, has the world's highest ISIS volunteer rates. The National Security Minister said Dominica has a mandate to implement harmonized laws against crimes of terror with the rest of CARICOM.
Notwithstanding the fact that persons may say, why should we be concerned in Dominica about ISIS and other extremist groups? But that is not a very bright statement to make, because we know, as I speak, I sit as the chairman for the Council of Ministers for National Security and Law Enforcement for CARICOM. And I can say to you, based on the information that I've seen, from 2013, there has been a tremendous increase in terrorism activities in the Caribbean. And also in ISIS, persons being sympathetic to ISIS, you have certain member states where citizens have been actually fought on behalf of ISIS.
There's a concern that terrorists can use the Caribbean to facilitate the acts of terrorism.
It's very possible that our respective borders or countries can be used, 1, as transit points, 2, as rest spots for terrorists. Because you can stay anywhere in the world and facilitate, either by financial means or other material means, extremist groups and acts of terrorism.
Dominica will have to enact proposed anti-terrorism legislation with other CARICOM states within a certain time frame. However, government may have to take its anti-terrorism bill back to the drawing board, pending suggestions from civil society, including opposition parties. A protest of the bill halted plans to pass it in Parliament on Monday. Only the amendment to the Customs Act and Advanced Passenger Information System Bill will pass.
The Anti-terrorism Bill, or Act of 2018, and the Advanced Passenger Information Act 2018, or more so the Advanced Passenger System Act of 2018, and the amendment to the Customs Act to give effect to making cargo information available in advance, all form part of a regime of laws drafted by the agency that's responsible for implementing matters concerning security and crime on behalf of CARICOM. That's impacts. And it's part of a counter-terrorism action plan or strategy by CARICOM member state, working in concert with our global partners, namely the United States of America, the United Kingdom, other parts of Europe, to fight extremist groups, including ISIS, and to fight aspects relating to terrorism from a domestic, regional, and international level.
$165,000 upgrade is on the cards for a facility which provides medical services for hundreds of Dominicans on a weekly basis. Andrea Louis has that story.
The motor vessel Pacific Hope is docked in Dominica at the Cabritz in Portsmouth for the next 3 years. Pacific Hope is a missionary ship which has been around for 27 years and provides a range of medical services, including dental and eye services. Captain of the vessel, Marvin Wilson, says on a weekly basis, hundreds of Dominicans are benefiting from the medical services being offered, but warns that this is in no way meant to replace the local doctor.
Anyone can come. We provide free medical. What we ask is if you can afford to go to your local doctor, do so. We're not here to be a new medical facility. We're here to help. We're here to help those who cannot help themselves. So we provide free dental. Right now, we're seeing about 140 dental patients a week. We have general medical, and we do offer eye surgery. However, we do not offer that all the time. It's such a skilled, profession and so forth to do that. So we will be opening that up, and we'll be advertising when that happens. What we do are cataract surgery. We have a medical facility on board, and we have a dental facility.
Pacific Hope is currently on a fundraising drive to upgrade and retrofit the medical facility to enhance the services being offered.
In August, we'll be going to dry dock. We're going to take the ship out of the water, do maintenance, and we're on a campaign right now to raise $110,000 to update our dental facility and $55,000 for our medical. There are just so many people in need that we're just running our equipment dead, literally. So we are doing that.
Over 40 volunteers are on board the Pacific Hope, which has been docked in Dominica for the past 3 months. Apart from the medical services, crew members are also engaged in construction projects around the country. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
The Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation is taking steps to enforce the law against indiscriminate dumping of garbage. Andrea Louis has that story.
That's according to General Manager of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, Florian Mitchell. Mitchell says 9 months after Hurricane Maria, there is still an increase in the level of illegal dumping by the public, which must be stopped. To this end, the corporation is working closely with the police to ensure the full force of the law is used to curb this habit.
We want the general public to know it's an offense. Tip any material along the roadside or off a campground, wherever you may tip it, it is an illegal offense. Whatever material that you have, you should make arrangement with the Solid Waste Management Authority to dispose of that material on a landfill. We have the blessings of the police force. We've written to the chief, and one of the ASP and I will be in discussion with respect to enforcement. And we'll be actually utilizing the police to help us curb on some of the activities. We have somebody mapping out for us some of the areas, the hotspots within the city, and for the West Coast and the other areas, we know where they are. We have the person mapping it out. We know the times that the people are actually going there and put it out. So we did that preliminary work before. So we've been having a discussion with the police, and they are going to assist us in making a few officers available. So we'll be patrolling those areas with officers with the view of actually issuing tickets.
Another cause of concern is the numerous dumping grounds for zinc material around the island. Mitchell revealed that from as early as next month, Dominicans should see a reduction in the amount of zinc material at these sites.
An entity has been identified through some of the proposals that we received. That entity, a contract is being drafted to be awarded, to be signed, between the state and that individual, that company. That is in the process. We have identified an individual, a company, and then the necessary documentation is being put together. So very soon, within probably as early as July, we should see some form of mobilization. You need specialized equipment, especially a compactor, to be able to reduce the volume and to be able to either load it into containers or export it through batch. So the contractor basically will use one of those methods, whether they containerize it or they put it on a batch and export it. So that is the concern again of the government, is that once the material is built, we do not want it to remain on island. They want it exported.
The general manager says overall there have been noticeable improvements as regards the cleanliness of the island, and there is currently a second wave of cleanup in the city of Roseau.
We have seen a significant difference in Dominica, where it was 9 months after the hurricane, in both the city and the rural areas. We have seen extensive cleanup from debris to governors, even within the city. What you're seeing is another wave of cleanup, wherein people are actually going to the private lots and ensuring that all those lots in the city are cleared from the zinc and the soil and all those things.
Reginald Winston says he is taking up the mantle as president of the Dominica Red Cross, feeling very challenged. Winston was recently appointed the new president of the non-governmental organization after Dr. Jocelyn Salmon was brought in to restructure it with new management and staff. When asked at a news conference on Monday how he feels leading an organization that had lost the public's trust, Winston says there will be many challenges to deal with.
I feel very challenged. There are lots of challenges ahead, a lot of work to be done. But I promised Dr. Salmon already that I will build upon what he has done. He has done an immeasurable job. I think having managed people for so many years, it already gives me the equipment that I need to continue in my management field. So I think my experience as a manager has helped me very well. My training as a lawyer has also allowed me to be very astute and very detailed at what I do.
Winston admits mobilizing resources will be among his main challenges.
When I took over, I saw that there were three main challenges. One, we had to establish a new DG. Two, we had to develop a plan, a strategic plan, because we couldn't go anywhere if we hadn't planned where we were going. And three, we had to mobilize resources for the organization. These are my three main challenges. And one is almost completed, the establishment of the DG, and the two others are going to pursue it as aggressively as the first one. We've learned a lot from Maria, and everything is being put in place to get ready for the hurricane season. Yes. We have dealt with hurricanes before, but now we are much more organized movement. As I say, thanks to Dr. Salmon. We have the branches organized, we have the branches energized all over the island, and we are as prepared as we could be.
Coming up on the Channel 5 News, a mother of a sick child tells us what it will take to get her child to see a doctor for free in Barbados. That and more when we return.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fenced pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Thanks for staying with us. Opposition Senator Dr. Thompson Fontaine says his absence from past sittings of Parliament is due to short notice from government.
The overseas-based Fontaine has been criticized for, on occasion, being a no-show at parliamentary proceedings. His current job assignment is based in South Sudan, where he serves as a senior economic and financial advisor to the Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission of South Sudan. JMEC is made up of key stakeholders, African member states, and the African Union to monitor the implementation of a 2015 peace agreement. Dr. Fontaine says 13 days is not enough time to be notified of meetings of the House of Assembly.
Well, I think it's unfair to begin with. The government, that could have been easily solved. If, for example, we were given more notice for the House. The government insists on giving us 13 days notice to attend the house. If you're given 3 weeks a month, then it will be very easy for me to be there because I'm in Dominica practically every 2 months. So I can easily adjust my schedule to be in Dominica for the house. The problem is that by the time the notice is given, it is not enough time for me to change and come to Dominica.
The economist says he always informs the clerk of the House if he is to miss Parliament.
In the instances where I've missed, which was 2 sittings in the past, I did what is required by the standing orders, and I informed the Speaker that I would be absent. So I really don't understand why there is a big issue. Because once, according to Standing Order 15 of the House of Assembly rules, once you inform the clerk, not even the Speaker, once you inform the clerk that you will be absent from the House, and that's what it takes. The Speaker is now trying to introduce something new, saying that she has to approve, but no, there's nothing in the Standing Order that says the Speaker has to approve it. All it says is that a member of the House who is going to be absent for the duration of the House, upon notice, has to inform the clerk of his absence, and that's what I've done in both cases. So I have no problems with that. I'm here now. I'm not missed 3 straight sittings, and I will try my best to do as much of this as possible.
On another note, Fontaine is advocating for Parliament to convene more often.
Just remember, that's only the 4th sitting for this year. In a whole year, in 12 months of government, you have only 4 sittings. I mean, that's a disgrace. And I think rather than look at me as an individual member, the government should be looking at how they can improve on the number of sittings of the House. So how can you have a country and justify only 4 sittings in an entire year? And I think that is what they should be focused on. And not on the fact that Thompson Fontaine missed 2 of the 4 sittings.
Would you be able to make it if there were more regular sittings?
Well, then if there's more regular sittings, then I become a full-time senator, right? I'll probably have to stay in Dominica. But at least for the sake of the country, they need to do better than that. But obviously, if there is 4 sittings in a year, then it frees me up to do whatever I please. I can be anywhere in the world.
The women of the Dominica Labour Party have been challenged to arm themselves with information regarding party policies and accomplishments and begin to lay the groundwork for the next general election.
The women were reminded that Labour Party has made a difference in the lives of ordinary Dominicans, and these government interventions ought to be used in defense of their party against opposition attacks. Mrs. Charles pointed to policies to empower Dominican youth through educational opportunities, the social programs including Yes We Care program and the National Employment Program as among some of those measures of which they can be proud.
As for the infrastructural project, the most I can say, all the roads, all the houses, and all the toilets, and all of the projects that we're doing, your husbands, your boyfriends, your nephew, your whatever the male relative is, because usually those jobs are predominantly employing men. So most of them benefit, and the money they get, they bring it home to take care of the children and to take care of you. So when you have not gotten, your boyfriend and your husband brought it in, you should be able to respond and say how it has benefited you and your family. We are closer to next general election than the one that's passed. Now is not time to remain quiet and to sleep on us. The opposition is awake, so we need to wake up too. If we are not awake, we need to wake up. You're not going to fight physically, because I don't advocate fight and trouble. You're not going to fight physically, but you have enough information that you can defend your party and get your party on high gear into winning the next general election.
Charles also reminded the audience to ensure that children old enough to vote at the next general election are registered. She also urged them to remind critics that the welfare of young people was a priority for the Labour administration.
The Dominica Youth Business Trust, which falls under the ministry that I'm heading, that is an opportunity and a venue to allow our young people to be trained and to access money to start their businesses. The Youth Skills Training Program is to help the students acquire a skill. All you realize what is happening in Dominica post-Maria? We haven't got skills. Or it is limited, very limited. So all of us want to cover our roofs, and we haven't got contractors, we haven't got builders, we haven't got plumbers, we haven't got enough people trained in electricity. So that is what the Youth Skills Training Program is there for. I look at my dear lady from Tues, who tiled the Grand Bay Health Center. I remember I was nursing there, a lady, and she was involved in tiling the Grand Bay Health Center under the Youth Skills Training Program. and the Tiley Granby Health Center. So there are opportunities for the young people. As to whether they are taking advantage of those opportunities, that is the question.
Patrons of last weekend's Labour Women's Symposium had an opportunity to hear the Prime Minister speak to them from his heart.
The Prime Minister was wrapping up his comments to the gathering when he began to open up to his audience about some of the circumstances surrounding his involvement in politics and the sacrifice he has had to make to answer the call to serve his country. Mr. Skerrit says he sacrificed both youth and educational opportunities in order to serve, but he says he has no regrets.
When I decided to contest elections in 2000, I was launched in December of 1999. And I just came back from studies, and there was a call in the communities where I'm from for me to run. But I had applied for a scholarship financed by the World Bank, everything covered, to pursue both my master's degree and my PhD at the same time. And I'd applied to schools. I'd gotten accepted into a school. I'll tell you, I got accepted to Columbia University to do both a master's and a PhD program. And all I had to do was to go book my flight and send them the invoice for me to travel in 1998, August 1998. And I asked myself, in my own personal reflections, recognizing that the people who asked me to run, and I asked myself, these people are asking me to run. If I run and I lose, how would I view life? If I don't run and I go and I come back to live among them with a PhD, and their lives are worse off than it was then, how would I live among them? And the good Lord directed me to give up the scholarship and run to represent the people.
Mr. Skerrit says politicians are neither slaves nor masters of their constituents. He says his colleagues should be guided by humility and always show their love for the people in words and actions.
And a mother of 14 children says she is struggling to get her 6-year-old daughter the medical help she needs in Barbados.
Agnes John Baptist says the treatment that her little daughter requires is free in Barbados, but her main difficulty is paying for the return ticket and her accommodation. The mother, who is originally from Salisbury and now resident in Elmsall, says the child is suffering from a tumor in the head.
I just up there with myself and my children as usual, and praying and serving my God to the fullest I can.
But it must be difficult for you not being able to stay at work because you have to.
No, I will not be able to because of she. Because one time she'll well to be in school, there is time one sister going and she cannot make it. So I cannot stress myself. I will not kill myself. I'll not kill. I'll be until when God ready to do his dispatch. There is nothing more I can do about that. But I'm still on and pray.
But you have tried to get assistance from the government.
Yeah, I try.
What happened?
And only once they assist me with the child. And I keep on asking for help. Well, I just bear in it. I only get $3.75 from welfare and that's it. Time I get it is to pay my children school fare bus and that's it.
So
and just it.
Okay. Now what about meals and clothes and?
Well, some people have brought me some stuff after the hurricane, so my children used it gradually as they could, but right now everything done.
Agnes says she's a member of the People's Pentecostal Family Church. She says she's been through a lot, but she's standing strong.
So I still stand up strong because God stand up strong with me. He never let me down. He never forsake me. And he will not.
To end the news, the headlines again. National Security Minister says significant increase in terrorism activities in Caribbean drives intentions to enact legislation here. A significant financial investment for Pacific Hope as it looks to enhance provision of healthcare to hundreds of Dominicans. And Solid Waste Corporation demands enforcement of anti-litter laws in an effort to stop indiscriminate dumping. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Idona John Baptist. Thanks for watching. Join us again tomorrow.